You like the toolbox? You like the pocket jig? Cool. Welcome back to the shop, everybody. My name is Wade, and welcome to another episode of Relaxed and Living. Today we are going over the Kreg pocket jig. Now this is the Kreg K5. I know they have a couple smaller units, but this is good enough for me. I don't use that much, but it's much better than the alternative, the old way of doing it with dado cuts and screws in the side and patching up the screws and all that nonsense. Kreg has really carved out a niche for themselves when it comes to just drilling a damn hole. In the kit, there's your main unit. Then they come up with these little flywheels. I guess it's supposed to give you a little bit more stabilization. Honestly, I never use this. This is quite wonky, and you know, how much stability, more stability do you need? I've never had an instance. I guess that comes in handy. I personally just use it as the storage. It's more of a pain than anything else. I think I've used it on one occasion to actually hold me for stability.
Are you two extra tubes?
Well, those are actually toolbox spaces for screws and little stop blocks and what have you.
It is noisy.
Yeah, there's one on this side, one on the other side.
Yeah, where is it?
Well, those are just extra screws. You don't need those right now. We're drilling holes. Now with it, there is a ton of screws just to get you started on what you need to do. There are differences between the hardwoods and the softwoods. So if you don't know, your hardwoods have less meat on your screws. They don't dig in as much on the side, and the softwoods, plywoods, have a little bit more on the screw, so it really grabs the wood. It's enough to get you started, but you're going to quickly find that you're going to be swimming in screws, stack of this stuff. And I even bought a big one because I had a bigger project that I was doing. If you're building cabinets, maybe you're mostly dealing with plywoods or something along those lines. Be sure you get the right one, that way it digs into the wood just the way you need it, and it's not overkill and it doesn't mess up your project. But you also need this. It has a stopper on it, and you check the material width that you need. You set it here on the side, pretty straightforward for what you need, say 1 inch. Easy peasy. Here's your little stopper guide. There's 1 inch. I need to be in that second hole right there. All right, so when I put this in, let me grab my grommet. It needs to be spaced out accordingly. Once I have that in, tighten up the screw, and that's my stopper. Easy enough. Get in there. Anything I need to drill, bang, bang, bang. If I have an inch piece, it's gonna stop right where I need it. Want to pull that down? Pull it down. All right, pull, come on. There we go. So, mommy. All right. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna do another one. All right. Now pull it up. No. Pull this up. Go. Let me line this one up. Now pull it down. Go. No, pull it all the way down. You want that nice and secure. Pull it down. Sit down. Alright, pull the trigger. Alright, good job. There's also a spacer block here. This is supposed to be for any repairs. I've actually never used this, and I've had this unit for a number of years, and this is just a cheap plastic. It's not fiberglass reinforced, anything like that. It slides in, easy peasy. And I guess it goes back in here. I don't. Yeah, so for repairs. I don't know exactly what you'd be repairing, but let me know if you use that. Now the grommets, again, this thing is fiberglass reinforced. The grommets are made out of nice metal. You're not gonna chew up your plastic or your fiberglass reinforced plastic with the screw by going through it. It's really just this part that you really care about going into your material and giving you a nice pocket jig. The pocket jigs are actually wonderful, and like I said, can't iterate this enough. If you are making cabinets, it's going to save you a ton of time. Buy a unit like this and you're going to just save your day. You'll end up using it more than you actually expect. I find that this unit is quite nice. Though I don't use it all that often, it's nice to have in your arsenal.
What?
It's called a stop block, son. Stop the wood because that's what it is. Then they got these like spacer things. Again, all right, you could space it out if you want your hip holes nice and pretty. Personally, all my holes that I've drilled so far, and I've had this unit for quite some time now, have always been hidden. All right. This is a review about the Kreg jig itself, and this next tip is really about the functionality of and maybe some tips around it. Most of it's pretty self-explanatory, but I did just want to mention this because it's maybe not so self-explanatory. When you drill into your pieces and you have basically a butt joint, right? You want to put a pocket jig in. You have choices of which side you do it. Do you do it on this side or this side or this side or this, you know. What you want to do is you want to have your screw going into the big piece, right? If I were to say put my screw this way, there's not enough meat there to really grab on, and it's not a, well, it's not a weak, it's going to be a weak joint, right? So I decided that I'm going to put it in this way, and this is a lot longer than I need. This is just demonstration, right? It's going to go in this way into the long side, to the big side of my piece, and that way that joint is going to be much stronger than if I were to do it the other way. Same here, like I could have done it along this edge, but since this piece is so big, this smaller piece is a lot easier to maneuver around. So I decided this piece. Now, if that piece is showing, they do have plugs. Let me go get a plug. If that piece ends up showing, they do have plugs that you can put in, and then, you know, you can just sand that down, or you can just maybe do a Japanese flush cut saw and make that nice and smooth, and then hopefully you're painting over the piece. Of course, you want to hide that screw joint as much as possible. I do. I don't know if you do. Anyways, that's pretty much it for today. I recommend this unit. I recommend the pocket jig. Now, that being said, you know what? I haven't tried out all the different pocket jigs. I don't think there's that many different varieties on the market. I think Rockler makes one. Maybe there are. What do I know? Hope this helps. Happy woodworking. Till next time, stay relaxed and keep on living. Yeah, you put it in that first hole.
I need help.
Okay, you need help. All right. Hold on. All right, squeeze that trigger.
This one.
All right, well, again, don't put your fingers by there. Hold on, let me get it set up. There you go.